Welcome back to our channel. In this video I'll show you how to create this grunge effect for your text or logo. By the way, it's very similar to the CRT style, and I'll leave the project file below this video, so feel free to download it. And without further ado, let's get started. So I'm already in After Effects and let's create a new composition. For me, I'll go with 4K composition. This is exactly the resolution I'm going to use to create this effect. Now we need to select the text tool and start writing the text. Let's write, for example, grunge text effect. By the way, I'm going to use the Neo-Has Grotesque Display Pro font, so let's align the text to the center. So now we need to select our text, then right click and choose Pre-Compose. I'll just call it like text composition and click OK. Let's also rename our main composition and I'll just call it like main. Add an adjustment layer, we can call it glow. Now we need to add a glow effect to this adjustment layer. Set threshold to 10, set radius to 30 and intensity to 2. Now we need to duplicate the glow effect and let's change some parameters. Let's change the threshold and I'll set it to 90, set radius to 50 and set intensity to 0.5. Now duplicate the glow effect again, set threshold to 100, radius to 200 and intensity can be set to 1. You can also change all these values later and find the best settings for yourself. Now we need to slightly blur the edges of our text. To do this, add the Fastbox blur effect, set radius to 5, let's add tritone effect to change the colors, and we can change midtones to this, I think, blue color. You can copy my color numbers. Select the pen tool and make sure nothing is selected on the timeline and just draw a line across the full width. I also use only stroke, I'll set stroke to 3. I completely disabled the fill, so go to the shape settings, click on add and add a repeater. Go to the repeater tab, then to transform. Now in position, set the X value to 0 and for Y I'll set it to 20. But you can adjust this value later too if you want to get a different result. Then go back up and increase the number of copies. I'll add enough copies to fill the whole frame. Select the line layer and add the Fastbox blur effect. Let's add the radius to 5. I think we can set it to 3. And now in the blending mode, choose classic color dodge. And as you can see, we've created some really cool lines. They remind me of old neon signs in the streets or the screen of an old TV. Overall, it looks awesome. Create a new adjustment layer, I call it like grain. Now let's add the add grain effect. Make sure to change viewing mode to final output and set intensity to 9, and we can leave other parameters like they are. Create a new adjustment layer, we can call it blind. Let's add the Venetian blinds effect, set completion to 5 and direction to 90. We can also add some blur to the lines to make it look even better. Set feather to 5 and here is what we've got. In my opinion, it looks really crazy. I think the lines add some grungy style here. Create another adjustment layer, add the transform effect. Now click on stopwatch with Alt or Option if you unmark near position and write the expression for the shake effect. We can write wiggle, then 100 and we can use 2. Then click on stopwatch with Alt or Option near opacity and write the expression for the flicker effect. We can write wiggle again, but use like 220. And here is the cool effect we got in just a few minutes. And what's really awesome is that you can customize different parameters and adjust the settings however you want and always get different results. I really like the shake and flicker effects for this grungy effect. Let's try changing the text color using tritone. I want to set the highlights to light blue and let's also change the midtones. This time I'll set them to this kind of purple color. And just look at this. This looks amazing and I really love this result. You can also literally change the text. Go to the text composition and let's write, for example, any text here. I'm not creative today. Now go back to the main composition and just look at this. This is just crazy. Now you have a cool template for creating a retro style for your text, and by the way, let's try adding a logo and see how that looks. So I've added our logo to the project, and now go to the text composition and just drag the logo onto the timeline, turn off the text, and let's go back to the main composition and see what we've got. This looks really crazy. It really looks like a retro 30s style or some grungy retro style. So in this video we've created a crazy grunge effect, and actually we've created a template in which you can change various parameters and also change the text or add a logo. By the way, I'll leave the project file below this video, go ahead and grab it absolutely free. If you want to support us and looking for maybe some transitions, textures, overlays and so on, check out our website. I also leave the link below this video. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts or some recommendations if you have in the comments. See you in the next one. Peace.